Newton honored those who lost their lives and loved ones on September 11, 2001, with a ceremony of speeches and remembrance in front of Newton Fire headquarters.
The city of Newton gathered for their annual 9/11 commemoration at Newton Fire Department headquarters. On the 19th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, the city council said they could not let this day go by without some sort of remembrance ceremony. The ceremony was socially distanced, where 50 people could attend, and was live streamed for folks to watch at home. Flags were raised, anthems were sung, bagpipes were played, and the solemn group stood, honoring the lives lost in the first responders.
The people of Newton, Massachusetts built this memorial in 2012 to honor both the neighbors we lost and those who served that day and thereafter.
8 Newton residents lost their lives on September 11, 2001, and their family members or friends were able to speak about the beloved victims.
Today we remember in particular our Newton neighbors who perished on the flights and in the towers. These men and women live on in our hearts and minds. Mark Bavis, age 31. Having played 4 years on Boston University's ice hockey team, Mark was entering his second season as an amateur scout for the Los Angeles Kings when he died on United Airlines Flight 175.
My beautiful wife, Paige, was murdered on American Airlines flying to Los Angeles to meet with the producers of her radio show called Spiritually Speaking, of which she hosted. She was traveling with her dear friend Ruth McCourt and Ruth's 4-year-old beautiful child, Juliana. They all perished.
Nicholas Humber, age 60. My father, Nicholas, joined the newly created EPA in 1971 and co-founded the National Waste to Energy and Recycling programs. His work focused on wind-related energy, fuel cell technology, and sustainability. He died on board Flight 11.
Aaron Jacobs, age 27. Aaron worked at Cantor Fitzgerald in the North Tower of the World Trade Center. He loved New York as he jogged through Central Park, tasted its ethnic restaurants, and taught skills to its needy. Aaron traveled widely, and he and his fiancée thought that they might honeymoon on an African safari.
I'm not Ken Meltzer. He was not up to coming tonight, but I will hopefully fill in well for him. Stuart Todd Meltzer, age 32. Stuart played college baseball, was a huge Sox and Patriots fan before any of them ever won their championships, and worked at Cantor Fitzgerald in the World Trade Center. From the burning North Tower, Stuart called his wife Lisa to say, "Honey, something terrible is happening here. I don't think I'm going to make it. I love you. Take care of the children." Those children are now in college.
Richard Barry Ross, age 58. Richard died on American's Flight 11. Richard Barry Ross. There is a street named after my brother Richard. It is called Richard B. Ross Way in Boston, just off of Boylston Street and 1 block from Fenway Park. There is also a small garden in his memory at the base of his street where Richard and his family lived in Newton. Richard was the man that could walk into a room and his being filled the room. He was a very loving son, husband, father, brother, and uncle. He was a great friend. He put himself into everything he did. Richard was the co-founder of the Brain Tumor Society, which is nationally coast to coast and has helped thousands of people inflicted with brain tumors and their families. His achievements were many. He loved sailing with his family, with his wife Judy and his 3 children, Franklin, Abigail, and Allison. He is missed every day, and his presence is with us every day. He is the light that guides me.
Rama Sali, age 28. She was with her husband Mickey and also their unborn child. Rama grew up in Japan and moved with her family to Newton. After graduating from Wellesley College, she worked for a local firm in Cambridge. Rahma and her husband died on Flight 11 on their way to a wedding in California. Rama was 7 months pregnant with their first child.
Amy E. Toyan, age 24. Amy was in the World Trade Center on 9/11 for a trade show when her fiancé Jeff received a call from her cell phone at 8:58. He saw Amy's caller ID, but then the call ended. Amy's father said we had just ordered her wedding dress. Amy was so happy in her life, a woman in love who loved her job, ready to begin her new exciting chapter in life.
Mayor Ruth Ann Fuller spoke about the heroism displayed by America on 9/11 and gave thanks to the firefighters, police officers, and first responders.
We remember those we lost. Our daughters and sons, granddaughters and grandsons, mothers and fathers and step-parents, sisters and brothers, aunts and uncles, and for some, their unborn babies. We remember those first responders we lost, firefighters and police officers and law enforcement officers and EMTs who died trying to save lives. We remember those friends and neighbors, people of all ages, all ethnicities, and all religions that we lost. We remember them all, and we hold their families close in our hearts.
All of the victims and heroes were honored and remembered, reminding America to take care of one another.
It's been 19 years, but those of us who are of an age remember that specific moment when we heard the news that a plane had crashed into that first tower. We got through those first 19 seconds, and then the first 19 minutes, and then the first 19 hours, and 19 days, and 19 months, and now 19 years. We got through it together.
Josh Fetterman was living in New York during 9/11, and his wife is from Newton, where they currently live.
And living in Manhattan. So we saw the effects and the smoke. I was in Midtown, and it was a pretty powerful day. From Newton, and then we moved here in 2008. So now just each year we have small kids. The youngest is 5, so this year we were at home and just teaching them about what happened and the lives that were lost, just to make sure that they remember as a generation who didn't experience it.
Reporting from Newton Police Department, I'm Katie Mulcairn with Newton News.